Welcome to Healthcare Analytics. In this video, we will see what a scenario where a PAT t-test can be applied, and in the next video, we will see how to perform a PAT t-test using SAS. So in this particular video, we will be restricting ourselves to the scenarios where we can apply PAT sample t-test and what it is, and we'll move on to the next video where we perform a PAT sample t-test using SAS. So we will take an example where a pharmaceutical company has come up with a new drug that they believe can really help patients with Alzheimer's to improve their memory and their ability to recall things. So a pharmaceutical company wants to investigate if their new drug can enhance memory in patients with Alzheimer's disease. So in their clinical trial, they recruit a sample of patients. They randomly select a sample of patients with Alzheimer's disease and conduct a study to see if their drug is really effective in improving the patient's memory. So in this, they have recruited a sample of elderly patients who have memory loss and suffering from Alzheimer's disease. So let's say they randomly select 30 patients with Alzheimer's disease. Take a baseline measure of memory. So when we say baseline measure, it's the measurement obtained before the drug is administered to the patient. So once the baseline measure is taken, the new drug is administered to the patient for a period of 6 months for all the patients in the sample for a period of 6 months. And once at the end of the sixth month, again the patients are measured, the memory scores are obtained, which is called as a post-baseline measurement. So currently we have two measurements. One is baseline measurement obtained before the drug is administered, and second is post-baseline measurement, which is obtained after the administration of the studied drug. So now we have two measurements for each patient. So we have currently two measurements, and we will see the difference between both the two measurements, the measurement 1, which is the baseline measure, and measurement 2, post baseline measure, and see the difference, whether the difference is really significant or not. So whenever in scenarios where, as we have seen in this scenario where we have two measurements for the same individual, then in those scenarios we'll go for a paired sample t-test, or a dependent, also called as dependent sample t-test. Paired sample t-test can also be performed in scenarios, in not only scenarios where we measure the same individual twice, but also in scenarios where we have two samples, but the samples are similar in all respects. For example, variables such as weight, age, gender, etc., and all those parameters, all those variables which can have an effect on the dependent variable. It's called as a match subject design. So when we do matching of the groups in such a way that both the groups are similar in nature, almost similar in nature, in all respects, for all those parameters which can have an impact on the dependent variable, then also we can go for a paired sample t-test. For the another scenario we can think of is, we are looking at a weight reduction, a drug that is known to reduce weight. So let's say we take a group of patients who are overweight. We take their baseline measurement of weight, provide the intervention, which is a new drug, for a period of, let's say, 2 months, and again take the measurement second time, and then we want to see the difference between the second measurement and the first measurement, how much the difference is, and if this difference is due to random chance or there is a really significant difference that cannot be explained by random chance. And whenever we do whenever we perform a t-test or any test, statistical test, we there are two types of assumptions. One is the null hypothesis. There are two types of hypothesis. One is a null hypothesis, which states that there is no difference, and the alternative hypothesis states that there is a difference. In this scenario, we are looking at the difference between the measurement 1 and the measurement 2, and the null hypothesis states that this difference is 0. On the other hand, the alternative hypothesis states that this difference is not equal to 0. If we are performing a one-tailed or two-tailed test, depending upon that, we will write the alternative hypothesis. Please note that a t-test is a parametric test. Parametric tests are those tests that make assumptions about the population distribution. And here, for performing a paired sample t-test or a t-test, we assume that our data is continuous in nature. For example, the values for weight are continuous in nature, 1.5, 2, and so on. And also the differences between the measurements, that is the measurement 1 and the measurement 2, baseline measure and the post-baseline measure. The difference between the two measurements follow a normal distribution. A normal distribution is a bell-shaped curve. That the data points follow a normal distribution where most of the values are accumulated near the mean, and the normal distribution is a mean and a standard deviation. So the mean is represented by 0, and on an average each data point deviates from the mean by 1 standard deviation. And the other thing is random assignment, random selection of subjects. That is, each subject in a population has an equal probability of being selected. So in this video we have seen what is a paired sample t-test and in which scenarios, what are the scenarios where we can perform a paired sample t-test. We have also seen how to write what is the null hypothesis and an alternative hypothesis in this scenario when we perform a paired sample t-test. And in the next video we will see how to use SAS, how to programmatically perform a paired sample t-test. Thank you.